Welcome back, viewers. It is Championship Racing once again here at SARCO on the Thursday night. It is a GTE open class, open setting championship with 30 drivers entering and all determined through a qualifier. We had to delay by 1 week due to a massive load shedding problem as well as terminal disconnections. Enjoy the highlights of race 1 of 8 here at SARCO, and remember, the series is proudly brought to you by Mettlestate and Thrustmaster. So take a look at the starting lineup, and Marius, he's in pole position. Right alongside him is Jakes. Intrepid Striker, he's in 3rd place, and he's alongside Dirkie in 4th position. Duppy and Jacques are alongside each other. Duppy in 5th, Jacques in 6th. Ashley, he finds himself in 7th place, right up against our Scottish International Ross, who is back. Shane, he's in 9th place with Marshall in 10th, and Dylan, not finding his groove, finding himself at the back of the pack. It is green lights and we are racing here at Bugatti. Jacques has got a very slow start off the line, due to get away. That's Ross in the yellow Ford, closing that gap on Jacques as they head down the main straight into turn 1. Jake's got the jump on Marius, and he seems to be dropping down, having both Theo and Dirkie moving ahead of him as they come into the Dunlop chicane. Marius is able to get ahead of Dirkie once again. Dirkie goes ahead of Ross, and Jacques starts falling back down from 6th place. He's down in 8th. Dylan in the background there, making 2 places out, coming out of the chicane. So we pan around with the race leader Jakes, and you can see him starting to open the gap against Theo. Right behind Theo we have Marius in the Aston Martin. Just behind Marius is Dirkie. There's Ross going wide. That is Dirkie that's been able to go through, and it looked like Ross will rejoin at the back. So heading towards turn 7 and 8, we can see Jakes, he'll be leading with Theo in 2nd. That's Marius, Dirkie, and that was Jacques getting ahead of Duppy. So still heavily congested at the back. There goes Ashley, Duppy, Dylan, Ross, Marshall and Shane in the black GT at the back. Coming through turn number 10, back on the power, now into turn number 11, a double right-hander. Ross going a little bit wide there, I think, trying to avoid Dylan. Dylan getting back on the power, see the Duppy's car slowing down. Dylan now moving over and taking the place. I'm sure Ross will follow. So 2nd place, Theo, he's unfortunately losing some ground to Jakes, but the fortunate thing is he's starting to open himself a little gap ahead of the 3rd place driver Marius, with the drivers coming out of Dunlop down towards turn number 4, a very long right-hander. You've got to get your run just right there to prepare for turn number 5. In shot, our Scottish International Ross, he joins us once again, having sat out of our GT4 Championship at the end of last year. Just watching the drivers coming through turns 7 and 8 down towards 9, starting to see the drivers opening up a little gap between themselves, getting into a rhythm, finding their pace, and now it's time to start getting those laps in. In shot, our 2nd place driver and the young Porsche of the series, that is Theo, having joined us this season, joining from Eleanor. A shout out goes to the guys that are keeping sim racing alive in South Africa. You see Marius starting to close down that gap, and Marius pulling Dirkie with him as they come up through the Dunlop chicane. Turns 2 and 3, we jump on board in the Ford GT of Dirkie, coming down into La Chapelle. Turn number 4, Marius getting right up there behind Theo as they exit, preparing to go to turn number 5. Well, Marius had a look on the inside, no, still too far away, little lock up there by Theo. Marius not giving him any bit of a gap now as they head down towards turn number 6. Theo having a little defend on the inside. Will there be a lock up? No. Pretty safe for both the drivers. Coming out of turn number 6, now heading towards the chicane. Dirkie currently in 4th place, seeing that he has started to close that gap down to Marius. Marius hasn't been able to find a way around Theo just yet. Jake still leads Theo's in second, Marius in third, and that is Dirkie. Just seen Jacques go past, then actually Dylan and Ross. Dirkie, and in the background there is Shane, which means we've lost Marshall down the road somewhere. We definitely need to go and find him. As the drivers come around the last two corners, turn number 11, Dylan starting to pull a little gap away from Ross in that very yellow GT. Crossing the start-finish line, currently on lap number 2. Dirkie is now starting to move up and put some pressure here on Ross as they come through the Dunlop chicane. Back to the front of the pack, and I think of a word that I said in one of my streams at the end of last year. What we're seeing right here is a three-way horse, one of the slips that I made, but this battle for a second, third and fourth is definitely heating up. Really great racing here from Theo Marius as well as Dirkie, and this is exactly what SARCO racing is all about. Close, competitive and fair. Drivers exiting out of a turn and number 6 and heading towards the 7 and 8 chicane. Shimon of birth, not too sure how that should be said. My wife, I'm sure will kill me. Morris right up behind Theo, starting to put some pressure, has a little look on the inside coming into turn number 9, but not close enough to put on an attack. Turn and number 10, Morris goes to the inside. Will he be able to find a way around Theo? Theo very defensive coming into turn number 11 and back on the power. Now it's all going to be about straight line speed going into turn number 1. The Dunlop curve, who will have the faster straight line speed down this start-finish straight. The Jakes, however, is starting to pull away quite convincingly. Hard on the brakes now into turn number 2 and 3, and Theo really driving the wheels off of that Porsche. Really great to see Theo right up there batting it out with the Reputation guys. Out of turn 4, you can see Marius taking a much tighter than wider line. Moves to the outside. Will Theo close him off? Yes, it does. Marius moves to the inside now for turn number 5. Very, very close there. Theo really defending well and not hampering too much of his speed. Heading now towards turn number 6, the double right-hander. Down to third gear for me. Theo going much wider, but he's now moved to the inside. That's allowed Marius to go around the outside. Must be a start on penalty. Marius is up to 2nd. The camera picks up the Dirkie and the Jacques. Jacques having dropped a couple of places off the start, is really looking great in 5th position. Down the start-finish line, right up behind Dirkie. Through turn number 1 now, hard in that braking zone. Turn 2 and 3 in the Dunlop chicane. The car looking very comfortable coming out that inside bump. Back down the hill into turn number 4. Jacques looking really good. And a couple of places down, Dylan is starting to get a lot of pressure by Ross. Just behind Ross is Dirkie. Coming into the turn number 5. Dylan goes a little bit wide, but Ross is nice and tight, getting the power on very early. You can see how he just closes that gap onto Dylan. Now getting ready for turn number 6. Ross has missed that inside apex, which might help Dylan. Well, Dylan's going very sideways on the exit, but he seems to have got away from Ross there. There goes Marius currently in 2nd place. James we missed, but there's Dirkie, Theo, then Jacques. Not too sure what's happening, but Theo's starting to lose some pace. Not sure whether he made a mistake, but it's now costing him. We now pan around and see Dirkie has Jacques right behind him as he comes out of turn number 10, now through turn number 11. Theo might be a little bit wide there, but he might be able to get away with it. Back down the start-finish line to start lap number 4. We pan around once again as we go through turn number 1, and that Porsche is extremely quick in a straight line, and Theo starting to get himself a little bit of breathing space ahead of Jacques in that 4 GT. We now chase Ross, our Scottish international, trying to close the gap down on Dylan. He hasn't been able to find a way past him just yet. as both drivers head down towards turn number 4. Dylan's very early on the brakes, but now you can see starting to pull away, just a slightly different line to himself and Ross. Now into turn number 5, very tight in the beginning, but then as you get around that corner it starts opening up. Just pan around and see in the background there's Drippy. He's still keeping Ross honest. Any mistake by Ross and Drippy will be ready to pounce. Hot into turn number 5. Ross very tight, Dylan running a little bit wide, and Drippy is still there. Out of 7 and 8, Dylan is still trying to keep Ross at bay. Ross moving to the inside into turn 7. Dylan sees him coming. Ross having to change his line. Dylan hitting the apex perfectly, coming out of turn number 8. And there's Drippy seeing that with these two backing up front, he's been able to start closing that gap. So Ross is going to start feeding the pressure from behind. Out of the turn number 10, now into the double right hander. Turn number 11. Dylan's a little bit wide. Ross hits it inside that apex perfectly. So there's a 1 lap later, and Ross is trying once again into 7-8. He's gone too deep. Dylan's got away. That's Ross coming back onto the track. That's Drippy now moving a place ahead up of Ross. And I'm sure that's not what he was looking for. So Drippy has been able to make that position stick, seeing that he's opening the gap away from Ross. As the guys head into the down of chicane, there goes Theo, Ashley. Dylan's looking a little bit sideways. There's Drippy and Ross, and there's Dylan on the side. I wonder what happened there. So we see Dylan going into turn number 3, hitting that inside apex very nicely. The rear just lifts just too much. The car not able to hold on to that lack of grip, and that sends it sideways. Dylan hitting the brakes, sliding it around, and managing to keep it away from the wall so he's able to continue without any damage. Very unfortunate moment there. So we catch up with our race lead and we take a look at the current positions. On lap number 10, Jake leads with Mara second. That's Dirty in 3rd place with Jacques in 4th. Theo down into 5th place with Ashley in 6th. Dupley in 7th place with Ross in 8th. Dylan down in 9th after that sprint. There is a Shane, he's in 10th place, and Marshall still on the track, down in 11th position. Crossing the start finish line, that is Ashley, just behind him is Drippy, starting there, 12th lap. Down the start finish line there is Theo, currently in 5th place, as the guys go into turn number 1. The Dunlop curve into 2 and 3 at the Dunlop chicane. Dylan having made a hash of that corner a couple of laps earlier. So Drippy is starting to close down Ashley here on lap number 12, coming out of turn number 6. We'll have a look behind just to see who's there, and that's Ross in the background. Now coming into turn number 7 and 8. Little rock up there from Drippy. You can see that his entry into turn number 8 was slightly compromised because he had a little bit too much speed after their initial lockup. Now into turn number 9. Then a down 1 gear into 3rd, back on the power, let the car drift to the outside, then hard on the brakes, down into 2nd, let the car rotate nice and tight on the inside curve, late entry onto the last corner and a straight back down the start finish line. Morris in 2nd place is starting to close the gap down here on Jake's. Jake's taking a lot of inside curve, they've pushed him wide. Jake's taking way too much curve on the outside. You can see he moves over to the inside. That allows Morris to go around the outside. So Morris is now the new race leader here on lap number 13. Jake's really suffering from that slowdown penalty. You can see Morris really taking advantage of that time that Jake's has now given him. Morris heading down towards turn number 6. I don't think that Jakes is going to be closing that gap down on me anytime soon. So Drippy and Ashley are very close together. Drippy starting to close him down in that red Ford GT. Now heading into turn number 5. Both drivers taking very similar lines, but it seems like Ashley went a little bit wider. Now towards turn number 6, we can take a look at the current positions. Morris, he still leads with Jakes in 2nd. Dirty, he's in 3rd place with Jacques in 4th. Theo is still in 5th with Ashley in 6th, Duke in shot in 7th, Ross is in 8th with Dylan in 9th, then Shane down into 10th place and Marshall in 11th position. So there's Ashley right up behind Theo. Theo moving over, must be a slowdown. Ashley follows him. Not too sure what that was for, whether it was a thank you for moving over, but it really did not make sense to me. We'll definitely have to ask Ashley what that was. But now Ashley up into a 5th place, coming through turns 2 and 3 and opening a gap ahead of Theo. So Ross really doing well, putting the work in, trying to close that gap down between himself and Duppy. Down into a turn in number 4. Ross nice and tight, taking a lot of that inside curve with him, letting the car drift to the outside, dropping in behind Duppy to try and get his slipstream. A little bit wide on the entry, but a great exit there for Ross and hoping to close that gap down. So Ashley now starting to pull a gap away from Theo, and it is now Duppy starting to close a gap on Theo, putting some pressure there. Ross is a little bit deep. That's the rear that snapped around. Unfortunately, Ross has lost it. All that hard work he'll have to do again. Beginning of a lap number 16 and the time progression is on, so the guys will start feeling the effects of the track temperature cooling down. That's Morris in 1st place, then Jakes with Dirty right behind Jakes in 3rd place. Hard in the brake zone into turns 2 and 3, all drivers hitting that inside curve very hard. You can see how that Ford is getting some air out of turn number 3. Jakes going very defensive through turn 4. Dirty tightens up, gets up behind Jakes. Let's jump on board with Dirty to see what he's seeing going into turn 4. Jakes on the brakes. That round, I'm going to know it. Dirty getting back on the power. The rear's just kicked off on him. That sent him off. Let's see if we can just recover. Remember, we've got Mal Jacques just behind. There he goes on the outside, so Jacques up to 3rd. So in shot, our 3rd place driver, Jacques, having had a bad start, dropping 3 places off the start, is now looking good, finding his rhythm and finding himself in 3rd place. So further down the order, that is Dylan chasing down Ross, coming out of turn at number 6. Dylan having made that mistake earlier on, spinning the car around into turn in number 3, has now been able to find himself a bit of a rhythm and starting to close down on the Scottish International Ross. Coming into turn 7 and 8, big lock up there for Dylan. Ross also went a little bit too deep. That's definitely going to help Dylan's cause to close that gap on him. As they come up into turn number 9, there's Shane. He's not letting Dylan get away that easily. The driver's looking very comfortable through there. Dylan maximizing that track, using as much of that runoff as possible. Both drivers taking some curve to a little bit wide, little kick off the rear as he crosses the line. We can bring up the current lap. We're on lap 17. Morris leads with Jay 2nd, then Jacques 3rd. Durkee is in 4th with Ashley 5th, Theo is in 6th, Duppy 7th, Ross 8th, Dylan 9th, chasing hard. Shane's in 10th and Marshall down in 11th position. On board with Dylan coming through the Dunlop Bridge. Dylan now looking for that opportunity to get himself around the bright yellow Ford of Ross. Nice and tight coming through turn number 4. Then looking for that opportunity to find a weakness in the Scottish armour. Very tight line there for Dylan, back on the power, 3rd gear, using as much of the track as possible. See flames flying. Ross really looking to stay away from Dylan. Ross is a little bit wide. It helps Dylan get even closer. We take the aerial shot, looking at them coming to 7 and 8. Dylan are not letting Ross get away. Dylan is much tighter. Ross very late, great exit out of turn 8 for Dylan. Here's a little look to the inside, but not close enough to make a move. Ross is conscious that he is there, so leave just enough space. Dylan does not capitalize. Dylan runs a little bit wide coming through turn number 10. On the brakes, lots of curve there for Dylan. Getting back on the power, but he's wide, and Ross is away. Theo in 6th place, trying to close down Ashley. Right behind him is the red Ford GTE of Dupi. Dupi been really putting in those laps, starting to close down, or very close there on the braking zone. We'll just pan around once again just to get that shot of the red Ford GT. Dupi really doing well here, putting lots of pressure on Theo, and Theo is currently maintaining his composure and not letting Dupi get around him. Really great driving from both of these drivers. So we tag on the back of Shane, who thought he was the only South African playing this game. Until we found him, we've now taken Shane away from the Australian leads, let him come race locally, and Shane is definitely now finding his groove, fitting in with the community. And Shane, we hope you enjoy your stay. So Ross has not gotten away from Dylan just yet. Dylan recovering after that spin at the beginning of the lap, but Ross has gone deep. He's going to have to correct his line. Dylan's got an absolute crack of an exit out of turn number 8. He moves to the inside into turn number 9. Ross leaving Dylan enough space, but that puts Dylan on the outside now for 10. Ross having to take a slow line, but Dylan goes out right the outside. A great overtaking move there. Dylan seals the deal by taking the inside line going into turn number 11. Ross giving all flash to say, well done, sir. So not forgotten is Marshall down in the 11th position. He unfortunately made a little mistake earlier on and just lost the sight of the pack ahead of him. But Marshall really doing the work, putting in the times, and slowly but surely getting the times in and closing down on Shane, but ever so slowly. Keep pushing there, Marshall. Roaring sound of the V8 with the Ford GT right behind him. This is Ross trying to get that position back from Dylan. Dylan's lost the rear, snaps, he goes around. That's Dylan out. Ross goes past, we jump back to Shane to see if he can capitalize on that mistake. And unfortunately Shane's rear goes out as well, so Shane does not. Jump to the race leader, and Morris will cross the line to begin a lap at number 21. You can take a look at the positions. It is Morris leads with Jake 2nd, then it is Jacques in 3rd. Dirk is in 4th, then Ashley, Theo. Dupi is in 7th place with Ross in 8th, Dylan and now down to 9th. Shane's in 10th with Marshall picking up the rear in 11th position. So Theo currently is circulating in the 7th position. He does have a Dupi just behind him. He's definitely starting to find that rhythm. As he goes through turn number 1, the rear's gone on him. He's gone, put it straight into the wall. That's very unfortunate there for Theo. That's definitely going to impact his straight line speed later on in this race. So a lap at 24, and you can see the sun is on its way down. Theo has been able to keep Ross at bay. Ross not being able to close that gap at a steady rate. But you can see in the background that is Dylan. He's now being able to recover himself from that spin, and he's now circulating a second quicker than Ross is. Really looking to find that place back from Ross and fix the mistakes that he has been making throughout this race. As Theo leads this trio into turn number 5. All three are very comfortably through there. Dylan taking a much wider line. I think he might have just got the car on a little bit too early, but now into the braking zone. See Theo's lights are not on due to that impact he had earlier on in the race. Dylan is wide once again, a little wiggle of the rear. That's definitely going to have his chances to close that gap on this specific lap. Preparing to begin their 26th lap. Dylan is wide out of 11, going on the dirt. That's definitely going to lose some time. But you can see that the sun is just about down here at the Bugatti. Coming into turn number 1, Ross looking for an opportunity to still get around Theo. Ross tightening up all that rear is a little bit loose there, a bit of an oversteer. Dylan sees the opportunity and he attacks the curve at turn number 3 really hard. Down the hill, Theo without lights on, not sure whether that was because of the damage that sustained earlier on in this race, but definitely has been able to keep Ross at bay. Down into turn number 5. Ross is a little bit deep, and Dylan is a lot tighter. And Theo is definitely going to have the advantage coming out of turn number 5 ahead of Ross. Now into turn number 6. Theo is tidy, Ross is tidy, Dylan is tidy. Down the back straight, Ross tucking in behind Theo to get as much of that slipstream advantage as possible. Theo doing a little weave, he has a look on the inside wall, there's a very slow Ashley there. Theo moves to the inside, little clip of the rear there from Ross. Dylan avoids both Ross and Theo, and it is Dylan that manages to win out of that. So we just jumped back to see exactly what happened in that incident. We see Theo on the outside, but a very slow Ashley. So Theo moves to the inside. Unfortunately, Ross just clipping him on the rear. Dylan sees him, brakes, and moves to the outside. Dylan manages to get around both Ross and Theo without any incident there. And the race leader Morris coming through turn number 11 for the last time. He will flash his light and cross the line to win the 40 minutes here at Bugatti. We jump down to the second place. There is Jakes. Jakes having led for a majority of the race, but then moved over for a slowdown penalty, and unfortunately not being able to get that time back from Marius. Dirty will come home in a very respectable third, with Jacques right behind him in the 4th place. Jacques having a bad start, but definitely working his way through the field. Next across the line is Dupi in 5th, with Dylan and Ross still battling it out up until the last couple of corners. Due to some time penalties that will be added to both Ross and to Dylan, it will be clear that will actually end up in the place ahead of him. A little flash there from Ross saying great drive there, what a great competition, and I did enjoy it. Theo crosses the line in 8th place, and Shane will cross the line in 9th. And definitely last but not forgotten, there we see him coming, that is Marshall. Turn number 10 for his last time. Just remembering that every single driver here on the track finished on the same lap as the leader. So really, really great, great driving. What an awesome race this evening. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give our video a like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. You'll be notified of any new videos or live streams that are up. We will be racing this coming Thursday at Alton Park International, and if you would like to catch the race action, don't forget to tune into the live stream from our cockpit, or you can wait till the weekend until that video is being released to catch all that action. Until then, keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yo's.